got it in. Ready for tomorrow. Also, brought this to work today. Give it a go ski. We'll talk about that later on. Added a few things to the inside here. I got those bit drivers, it's getting pretty full, guys. It's getting pretty full. I'm running out of time here. Also, I had a sub that gave me these right grip wrenches that I was keeping at the house for the longest time. I've been using the hell out of these lately. Absolutely love them. What else? I brought the little Matco ratcheting bit driver thing. This thing's freaking cool. Using the hell out of that. Here's a wheel bearing installer tool made by Lyle that I picked up a little while back. Let's see, added the Cornwell tooth ratchet. We needed that the other day. Oh, you guys saw these from the other day, the Matco hose pinch offs. I think that's pretty much it for that drawer. This one, oh, I had to do a few things. So I brought the rolling torque wrench, the CDI torque wrench. We were doing a rear end thing a few days back. The scraper, that came here. The Cornwell die grinder has been pretty badass. The Matco drill, also the Cornwell drill, which you guys saw. Plastic rivet gun, some fuel disconnects. The 3/8 snap-on brought that. Carbide bits. Let's see here, what did I bring in here? Oh, I got that snap-on DVOM down there. My OTC test light, mirror, power steering pulley set. Yep, that's pretty much it for that. And I don't think, oh, that light fits perfect in there. That's pretty much it. Alright, so not a bad day today. Got the engine stabbed back in, so tomorrow I can start running in torque converter bolts, bell housing bolts, start putting on other parts, which also need cleaning. I thought we were doing a junkyard special, but looks like we're doing a reman. Huge points in the tool and automotive realm if you know what kind of CC heads these are that are on this Chevy reman engine. I'll give you a small hint. Chevy, the way that at least they did for the longest time, I don't know if they still do it on their more newer vehicles. We'd have to take a look at the GMC someday. But they used to put markings on the heads to let you know how many CCs that each one had. So like double humpers were like really sought after for old muscle cars, things like that. Then they had a single hump, a couple of Christmas trees, 3 Christmas trees. This one happens to have 3, so mad props to whoever figures out how many CCs this head is that was on this particular reman engine. Other than that, some things that I ended up doing today. So I took the bike to work, ended up needing an engine stand because we had multiple engine projects going on at the same exact time. So I ended up running home, grabbing the AC Delco engine stand, running it to work, throwing the engine on there real quick, trying to get all the parts on there. Got a couple of seals that I needed. I had to wait for parts. Had other components that I had to clean, special torque specs. The timing cover on this one's made out of plastic. Apparently they're not reusable, so we had to buy a new timing cover. Wrong one came. Had to wait for the right one to get there because we had a sensor, crankshaft sensor that went into it. All this stuff can add up to a longer process. However, there's enough time on the ticket to be able to get this hopefully all completed and wrapped up tomorrow. That's my goal. I'm actually even thinking about taking off out of the house a little bit earlier so I can get to work a little bit earlier so I can get this project hopefully done. There's a lot of stuff that needs to get done, but if I bust ass and I get a little bit of help coming over, we should be able to get it all banged out before going into the weekend, which would be awesome. Because I got a lot of heavy line projects going on right now. We got the Audi trans that I already pulled that we're waiting on, the new one to come. I got valve cover gaskets and things off of a Ford 6-liter diesel that's out back. That's the shop owners I got to take care of. And then I got this Chevy van project. So lots of big projects going on right now. Very, very busy. Some things I learned tool-wise. So that power torque tool is pretty cool. I think I can do a review on it going into the weekend. I'm not going to do one tonight, but I will end up doing one over the weekend because I've took it to work, used it extensively today. Found out a couple of things about it that I was like, meh, that I'll share with you guys later in another video. But for the price, not a bad tool at all. Going into some other things, when you're getting ready to put old parts onto new parts, you want to try to clean up as much of the gunk as you possibly can. The old engine was really gunked up. I don't know that I showed any video footage of it. I might have, if you guys have been watching for a little bit. If I haven't, I'll try to see if I can't, you know, take a quick little panoramic shot of the old engine that came out. But it was very sludged up, so I'm not sure if that's from lack of oil changes or the type of oil that they used. I'm really not sure what to expect from various oils over the years. I've never had a problem like that before, so I'm pretty sure it has to go down to lack of maintenance. That's my guess. Other things I had to pay attention to is that you're not always going to have the special tool for a certain job. This older engine didn't have the correct thread pitch for me to be able to use the harmonic balance pulley installer tool that I got from Matco. So the other way that I thought about is like, you know what, I can gently smack it on there a little bit with the 4-pound maul hammer made by Irwin, and then very slowly by hand crank it down until the crank starts to turn. Once it starts to turn, then I put a pry bar in there, wedged it between the rear crank and the engine stand, and was able to torque it down to like 74 foot-pounds. So it didn't require a lot of torque, which was perfect. Spark plugs are something you always want to put in brand new if you can, obviously, because it's a brand new engine. Other components you're not going to be changing out, so you want to make sure you clean them up as best you can. The intake, however, because it has that spider injector thing, I will try to clean it up the best that I can, but I was heard it's not really a good idea to get mineral spirits involved because it could gum up the injectors and make it run really, really bad. So my thought process behind it is to clean it up with some carb cleaner, some brake cleaner, best that I can, and put it back on there. If it was my vehicle, I would change out this entire component because it's so disgusting. But the customer doesn't mind. They want to reuse that old component, so we're going to. That's customer's preference. They're the ones paying for the job. And that's something else that we need to talk about is the vehicle going to run better with a brand new engine and older parts put on it? Yeah, it is. You know, you can get most of the old parts cleaned up, but you can't expect the world out of it. There's going to be certain things that you're going to have to change out along the way. You know what I mean? The gasket kit that it comes with is only going to cover so much, and then of course you're going to need other gaskets. An example would be that on Chevy engines, especially a small block 350, it has a mechanical fuel pump area. Well, on the Reman engines, that's if it doesn't use it and it uses a block-off plate, it doesn't always have a hole that allows oil to travel. So I found that out today because I was concerned it didn't have a gasket. We ordered the gasket, I went to put it on there, the bolts didn't fit. Turned out there was no threads at all. Found out there was no hole that went all the way through the block, so no oil was going to go through it, so no need for a block-off plate or anything like that. So wasted $3 to $5 for that gasket, but it was a learning process. So I didn't know, and you know, it was pointed out to me later by somebody else. So we learn as we go. There are certain things that you're not going to know until you get into it. The other one had it, this one didn't need it, so something to think about. That's pretty much all that I got for this, guys. You know, I just want to try to inspire other people to, you know, get into the industry. That look, it can be a lot of fun, especially in the independent world. It's very family oriented. It's a very loving atmosphere. You feel welcomed every day that you come in. Yeah, you get a lot of big projects. You get a lot of small projects. You never know what you're going to deal with on a day-to-day, but it's still a fun industry to be in. The pay isn't always there, which we've already talked about, but you know what? I couldn't think of anything else that I'd rather do at this point in time in my life and in my career and at my age. So that's all I got for this video, guys. Thanks as always for watching. I appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed it as well. We'll talk to you guys soon. Thanks for watching. Deuces.